How's it going, people? Welcome back to the Big Six. There's a lot of you guys waiting already. I think there's nearly 300 of you. Come on, love to see it. Love to see it, man. That's what it needs to be. Like, the show's growing every week. Obviously, we're bringing it to you more consistently. So make sure you hit the like button as you come in, or if you're already in and you haven't hit the like button, what are you doing? Make sure you hit the like button now so you don't forget. And I'm back with the regulars. Obviously, Grizz is back on. Obviously, he missed Friday and Alex was there. So let's start with Grizz, because Grizz, I want to get your opinion on the FA Cup and the game being played. SAEED, don't worry, your one was
Listen,
tight,
man. I was just like, yo, first time every time, me, man. Get to Grizz, man. Get to Grizz.
I like it, fam, because when you lot are winning, you want to start the whole show.
Yeah. To be fair, you don't want to be fair. I want to, yeah, go on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We started with Arsenal one too many times, I think. So, you know, everyone has their goal. Matisse's had a couple as well. I'm just waiting on TOBS to get his. That's what I really want.
He's on the fence. That's why.
If that happens, I'm here for it. Trust me. I'll bring the popcorn out for that show. I'm telling you. But Grizz, your game against Villa. I don't know, man. I feel like the integrity of the competitions, you know, it's been affected more. It's obviously been hit in the past, but I feel like forcing Villa into playing the game, or even if they, you know, put their hands up and said, we'll play it. I think when you look at the team they put out, you might as well have just cancelled the game and just gave you guys the win. I know it's a good run out for the young ones, but, you know, the competition once meant something. And I think you're of the age like me where we was, you know, around when it meant something. So what's your overall opinion on the tie going ahead and the game itself?
Yeah, exactly like what you're saying, man. I didn't feel, you know, even when the kids were kids, got to call them men, man, because they were playing in a men's competition, but they were kids, right? Even when the kids were lining up, I was thinking, I was tweeting, I was saying, this doesn't feel right, but we got to do what we got to do. And you know, I'm like you. It didn't feel nothing. It was just a game to me, like, you know, a chance to sort of get minutes in the legs. We've been playing shit recently. We've been playing like we're sleepwalking, you know, through games. And I really thought we're going to go out there and put a show on, man, in that first half. When I say show, I don't mean like, you know, it's going to mean anything because we're being kids. But I thought smash them by 4 or 5 goals at halftime and then say, you know, aren't they sweet and shit, yeah? I thought it was. And I tweeted at the time and I got lashed on social media because I said it's one of the worst performances I've seen under Klopp. And people were like, are you serious? Like, and I was like, well, yeah. Considering we're playing average age of 18, they were literally kids, and we had some big men playing out there. And normally, if that was just a one-off FA Cup game and we're playing, Liverpool have been playing normal like they've been playing, and we didn't turn up for that game and it was 1-1 at halftime, I wouldn't have given a shit. But coming off the results that we've coming off and the criticism that we've been getting for being slow, ponderous, not active, you know, I thought we're going to be more active, you know that, guys. And I was proper. It didn't mean nothing to me, to be honest with you, anyway. But I thought after having to play that and then they're putting the team out that we did, I thought it was shocking first 45 minutes. Shocking. Second half, we bring on Thiago and he makes the kids that were already kids look like kids, but then he makes the rest of the men look like kids as well. So that was the highlight of of the game. For Thiago, the link up between Thiago, Shaq, and Bobby was something probably most of you man that play FIFA can't even do, man. Some of that movement, some of those moves were lovely to see. But overall, I don't see how we got any confidence or any encouragement going into the Man United game as prep. I don't see what prep we got out there. If anything, you know, more pressure on us to perform and get motivated. Because if we play like that against Man United with the best player in the world, the best, you know, centre back in the world,
that is a centre back, but yeah,
then we're looking to get hurt. But I think we'd be ready for Man United, to be honest with you.
Grizz, he didn't say best centre back. Come on, man.
You ain't heard of Harry Maguire. Wait, hold on. Turkish, who's the best centre back? Who's the best centre back in the world?
Contract was ended, man. Contract was ended, man. You know what I'm saying? We ended the contract, man. I got furloughed, man. I got furloughed, innit? So you know what I mean?
everyone heard him clearly say, because who's the best centre back in the world? Everyone agrees it's Virgil van Dijk, and he said Harry
I said
Harry
on
Maguire's
form.
better than him. So
No,
he's the
I said
best
on
centre back in
form
the
when you
world.
look at I said on form when you look at statistics. Yeah, Harry Maguire had a better season than Van Dijk last season on form.
No,
In terms of like 1-to-1 defending. When you looked at the statistics, yeah. No, honestly, go watch it.
I remember when Mustafi had a better season. I remember when people used to say that about Mustafi.
Exactly,
They showed me something. I was like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take the
So
Harry
you know what
Maguire
is with stats are, it's all good having stats, but when you have no actual proper context behind the stats, they're baseless. That's the problem.
Yeah, of course. I was just, listen, I was on a banter thing, innit, you feel me? Like, I was just trying to rattle a few man, you get me? Like, I was just trying to bring out the Harry Beckenbauer kind of thing. But for now, it's kind of stopped now, innit? You get me? I can't really ride that bandwagon anymore. Like I said, to his furlough season. So, yeah, man. But, I let Thingy...
Your opinions have been furloughed. Your opinions have been furloughed. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry?
Your opinions have been furloughed.
No, we're still on job, man. Don't worry, man. We're still on job, man. You know what I'm saying?
SAEED.
We're forever there, man.
SAEED, I might as well stick on you. And obviously, you got them. Well, have you got them next? You've got a game in between, but in terms of Liverpool, they've got you next. Do you think they can get anything from that Villa win? Do you think it came at the right time for them? Are you unhappy it went ahead? Like, what do you feel about it?
I think Liverpool are not what they were in terms of being invincible. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is on a bit of a dip in form. Mo Salah, the stat padding is not there right now at the minute. I'm trying to say to you, I think they're not clicking. But one man is kind of scaring me at the minute, and that's Thiago. You know what I mean? He's just unbelievable, man. And I give her props to a minute. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him like 10 years ago when Moyes was about to sign him, but I think for me,
What was Moyes about to sign Thiago? What?
He was going to sign Thiago. He said, obviously,
Moyes wanted Thiago, yeah?
He wanted Thiago, man. There was a strong link, man. That was the season of 2011-12, yeah, was about to sign him, man. Him, Cruz, Bale, all them, man. But obviously, you can only say things, but you have to put it into action, innit? But yeah, man. Listen, we beat Burnley tomorrow. It's really game on, man.
Oh, baby, top of the table.
Top of the table, you know what I mean? And I feel like for me, you get me, like that's the best feeling in the world, man. We go into Anfield knowing that we're 3 points ahead. I think it's all about the mentality for me. We go in there, we go with a bit of confidence, and then you know what I mean. I think Liverpool will be Liverpool game. You know what I mean? I'm not confident we're gonna win. I'll take a draw if you ask me. But now Burnley, man, you know what I mean? We beat them. They got no McNeil, no Westwood. I think that's their two best players in my opinion. McNeil carries their team forward, and Westwood, man. You know what, man? A lot of people, you know what I mean, think he's rubbish here, but I think he's one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League. But in terms of the way he plays every season in, season out, yeah, he carries Burnley in a midfield pivot. Him and Cork, and they always get top 10 finish, man. So he's a big miss for them. You know what I mean? So I think we'll win them, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but I still feel like with the quality we got, man, and the individual talents we got, man, we got enough to have them kind of clutch moments. Rashford, Martial, Bruno, you know what I mean? I think will be a kind of a good game for me. But yeah.
Yeah, you're swaying right now because you're
man. Don't worry, man.
On one hand, you're saying you'll take the point. On the other one,
Honestly,
you're saying you might nick it.
You're noticing it, yeah?
I have to be responsible, innit? You know, I'm not going to go in a gun hole and say, you know what I mean, we're gonna win against Liverpool. I'm not going to say that. I'll take it as a game comes. You know, I'm trying to say to Liverpool, I've got a home record that is quite good. But if I go there, we go there with a point. I think that's a good point, man. You know what I'm trying to say to you. And then what is it? 4 points clear, is it? You know what I mean? So you take that, in all honesty, mate. You know what I mean? 4 points clear in January. You know what I mean? It's something to hold on, and it's something that we've never been in. We've never been in top since 2017, since Mourinho left. Yeah, we've never been on top since 2017. So it's one of them things, man. You get me? Like you have to credit everyone who's involved. Ollie, the players, everyone. You know what I'm trying to say? So you can't.
To be honest, tomorrow's game is massive because you know if you don't beat Burnley, then you know it becomes a bit more weighty on the shoulders, and Liverpool can take advantage of that. Tobes, I want to go on to you because obviously I remember once on one episode, you got ripped for saying you'll take a point against Liverpool.
This is what Turkish. This is why you're the realist, because this is what I was just about to say. Now, I remember I said on this platform that a point away to Anfield is not the worst result. Even if we lose, it's not the end of the world. And SAEED was one of the people.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
I did.
That's what you said. That's what you said, bro. How can you get caught in 4K?
I mean, you came with a mentality, though. It was a different mentality, though. It's a different game.
How's it different mentality?
You were defeated. You were defeated already.
But hear me out, Saeed. So same point I gave you. There's nothing wrong with you saying that you take a point at Anfield, but you made a point out of saying that it was wrong for me to say it. But now that's what you said. If you beat Burnley, you go above Liverpool. You're 3 points ahead of Liverpool, right? If you beat Burnley, yeah. And now you're going to the home of the reigning champions, yeah. Of course. So surely, based on your logic that you told me a couple months ago, winning mentality would be going there, trying to get a win and consolidate.
I think you're getting words out of somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't know where you're getting this on. Hold on.
Did he not say this?
Someone said it.
It's
Sorry.
True. I think me and Saeed were getting on to Toby about the mentality of Tottenham and how.
That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. My whole point is you came with a defeated mentality of, you know what, I'm not really too bothered if we don't come out with the 3 points. Or for me, I'm not going like that. I'm saying respect Liverpool. We go out there. If we get a point, that's a good point.
Do you know what it is?
Two differences.
Do you know what it is? Like all teams talk in it during the week as they're about to play Liverpool. If Liverpool's the next game, but as the days get closer to coming to the house of pain. All confidence just drains out of you, man. It's everyone. Chelsea done it. Leicester done it. Yeah. Spurs done it. Man United are doing it, about to do it now. You flip. It happens. It's normal. When you get closer and closer to the day where you have to go to the house of pain, which is Anfield, suddenly a draw is a brilliant result. We'd be lucky. All before that is hype. Yeah, we're going to do Liverpool. That record, we're coming. Not just Man United. Every team that happens, man, it's normal. It's natural. Relax.
No. I think it's you have to.
I miss being able to talk like that. I miss being able to talk.
Grizz is talking like a man who's seen his team win Prem and Champions
got the title shield.
Not many men can talk like that.
Yeah, no, but we're not even balling right now. We're playing poor. But
you got the title chest.
I just got enough confidence, not arrogance, because I said we were shit against them kids. But I know for a fact when teams that think they can do something to us, we raise it, and we've raised it last 2-3 years. So I can say that until things fuck up. You get me? Because if Man United come and turn us over at Anfield, I'm gonna be here on Monday night, facing up to you, and I'm gonna get it hard. I know, right? But
that would be a classic.
Listen, I'm gonna get hard. I know, and I'm ready. But do you know what it is? It's natural. Man United had that. Yeah, Man City had that. That when you go, you think, all right, we got a chance. Man City open at the back, blah blah, problems, issues. You go there and they just go mad on you. You know what I mean? Man United used to do it Old Trafford all the time. We're currently that team that during the week, but as the time gets closer, Sunday, you mans are going to be quaking in your boots, thinking, look, I bet you the narrative changes to we can't concede in the first 20 minutes. That's the shit we do. That's the shit we do. But you get what I'm saying? That's the mentality people. But so, you know what I mean? I think you have every right to say, draw's an amazing result for you on Sunday.
Of course it is.
I just don't want him to.
I said we beat Burnley.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't want him to criticize other people when they say it.
100%.
If we lose to Burnley, then you probably say to yourself, you know what? We probably need to go there and get 3 points. You know what I mean? To kind of like not make a statement just because of the mentality of the whole squad to believe you're going to win the title. But if you win Burnley, you know what I mean? You can. I'm not saying go out there negatively and say, you know what I mean, part of the bus like Mourinho did. You know what I mean? You go and maybe go in there with a mentality of, you know what? Respect them. You know what I mean? Don't go gun-ho. Don't go pressing them like we did against Man City and get picked off the park. If you go there and then kind of, just be respectful, come with a shape, come with a plan, and then you go from there.
The thing is, the only team that's done that to us, sorry, I was going to say, even Man City, and Steve will testify, change their game plan when they come to Anfield. Like Pep openly says it. And it ends up usually a boring game, like it's a tight tactical affair. Even at You know, their ground, you know, it was a pure most teams just come and try to play one way. I honestly think you've got the tools to come and test us, especially if we ain't got Matic, if you've got Phillips or Williams at the back, and Rashford plays in that area between Trent and our Williams or Phillips. You could do something with Bruno in midfield. I just don't think you're gonna try to even do something. I think you're gonna play three dogs of war in midfield, and then just 3 up front to try and see what you can do. So that's the way I think you're gonna turn up. But it might shock us, man.
Well, we'll see. We've got Friday to discuss that. You know what I mean? I think for now, let's beat Burnley. Let's beat Burnley, man. Let's get, you know.
You squash Burnley.
That's what we'll move on to next anyway, Saeed, because Friday we can talk all day long about the United.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the big one. But Burnley next for you guys tomorrow. You lot are away, right? You're away.
Away, man. Turf Moor. We've got a good record there, though. We've got a good record.
So what are you saying? You're confident?
Well, listen, this is my United, mate. Every time we have a chance to kind of go one hurdle, we just kind of fumble. You know what I mean? Last season's stats were every time Chelsea dropped points 8 times, we didn't pick up on it. So that's a worry, man. You know what I mean? I think for me, I'm going with a 2-1, man. A classic 2-1. Every result lately has been 2-1, 1-0s. You know what I mean? Clutch moment. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 United win, mate. Cavani winner. Come on. El Matador.
Is he playing?
He's back, man. He's back, man. Cavani, mate.
Oh, you know League Cup and FA Cup count, innit? Oh, yeah.
League Cup count, so El Matador, mate, you'll be back, man. Hopefully, do that celebration, man.
It seems like the gas that you built up before the League Cup is kind of, it's not gone, but has that League Cup semi-final had an effect?
It's had an effect on me because it's had you know what I mean? Like,
welcome to the show, Steve. How's it going over there?
By the way,
the noisy neighbours have hurt his feelings now. The noisy neighbours have hurt his feelings.
Oh no, Steve!
Stop our win tonight.
Steve, noisy neighbours.
Steve is silent but deadly, you know. When
I did enough damage on him last week.
I wasn't ready, man. I'm not ready for Steve, man. This comes out with the gunshots. I'm like, bro, you get me? What was the question? What was the question?
He's rattled it.
No, I'm not rattled, man. I don't know. I'm just out of nowhere, man.
Nah. Before I repeat the question, Trump lost again with a super chat. Says praying Pep saves the football community. Don't want to hear Saeed saying Ole's at the wheel. I don't know if we'll hear Saeed saying that unless they win the league. But what I was saying is, before the League Cup, he was on a roll. He was gassed. Has that League Cup really, like, League Cup is not the biggest of cups. Has it really played a part in your confidence?
You know what it is? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think the title talk, like I said to you, man, I'm a guy that is open and honest. I'll admit things, man. I'm not gonna shy away from stuff. You know what I mean? I'll say what I say. But I think for me, it's a mentality, man. You know what I mean? I think for me, losing 4 semi-finals, man. Last year, we fumbled over the line for top 4, man. I mean, that was a shocking top 4 race, mate. Chelsea fumbled, West Brom, even Sheffield United, when you look at it, man. And then, obviously, we got over the line. Leicester had too many injuries. Somebody just tells me, man, you know what I mean? Over 38 games, do you have the mentality? And that's the one I'm worried about. But Ole hasn't got the mentality to take us over the line. And that's why I looked at that semi-final, mate. That was a chance for us to win over City at home as well. So, for me, it's kind of, I'm just going to be like, just calm. Maybe if we beat Liverpool, then I might just come out my shell.
Maybe. Guaranteed, if you beat Liverpool, this show on Monday, it might be like 3-3.
We'll see. Come on, man, it's lockdown, man. It's lockdown, man. You get me? Like, what else have I got to do, man? You know what I mean? I've got to do something. You know what it was.
You're going with a 2-1, yeah?
2-1, yeah, 2-1.
Steve, I want to move on to you next and your thoughts on the game and Man United and prediction.
What, the Burnley game?
Yeah, Burnley United tomorrow.
To be honest, Burnley's a tough place to go. It is a tough place to go. They're not playing too well at the minute. United are doing all right, like you say. I'm just got to say to Saeed, look, if you are where you are in the league, you've got to be confident. Looking at Liverpool's last few results, that you've got to go there and have a go. If I'm the manager of Man United, I'm thinking, look, let's have a go. You've got nothing to lose, just go for it. And I mean, Liverpool, they are stuttering, but you've got to beware of that wounded animal. I tell you, someone's going to cop for 6 or 7. I can see it, you know. And I mean, Liverpool the other night, just to go on that, they couldn't have won either way, because if they'd have gone out there and smashed them kids 9-0, everyone would have slated them and said they was disrespectful to football. If they'd have gone out there and them kids and they'd have beaten 1-0, they'd have said, "Oh, look at Liverpool, they can't even beat the kids." So it was one of them games where it was just a bit of a joke, to be honest. And to be fair to Liverpool, I thought they dealt with it well, and I thought they give them a little bit of a slapping, but not too much of a slapping, and they got a little bit in the tank. And I think Liverpool might bounce back against United. But anyway, let's talk about Burnley. In my opinion, Burnley's not a good side this year. I know a lot of Burnley fans, and they're going to kill me for it, but they're not a good side this year. And I think United, with the pace...
they've won 3 out of their last 5, though. That's probably a plus sign. Burnley have won... Burnley won 3 out of the last 5, which is...
Yeah, they're not going to do it against United. United always turn up at Turf Moor and get a result. And I think with Cavani coming back, gives them something a little bit different. And yeah, I think United, it's a relatively easy game for United, I think. I think United will win 2-0, mate.
2-0, yeah?
Yeah.
Am
I still top of that prediction league? Am I top of the league still, or what? The prediction league?
It hasn't changed since then, because obviously FA Cup we didn't do. So this is the next league game. So you're still top, mate.
Still up there, man. Still up there. SAEED, it's a good sign if I'm tipping you.
So what did you say, mate?
I said it's a good sign in the prediction league if I'm tipping United.
Listen, man, don't worry, man. You know what I mean? Don't worry, mate. It's all about the end, mate. We'll see at the end, man.
Matisse, what about you? Thoughts on the game and the prediction?
For me, I mean, this is exactly the type of game I expect Man United to win. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those games where they've got a great away record as well this season. We've heard a lot about it. And Man United are very good at scraping these type of games. Even if, Burnley are going to make it difficult. They're going to park. They're going to play they're going to play long. They're going to do all the things that you don't want to see. But Man United are very good at getting past these type of teams. And even if it's a last minute winner or something, like you said, from Cavani or from Bruno, you just know somehow they're going to get over the line. So I think they'll get the win. I think it'll be a rough game, probably like a 1-0 or a 2-1, but they will get it. It's the Liverpool game that we'll see just what they're about. So I'll probably go 2-1 United. I think they'll scrape a win. It'll be a dirty game. It won't be entertaining. You know what I mean? It'll be what it is. It's Burnley versus Man United. It will be exactly what it says on the tin.
Would you say 2-0? Yeah.
I'll go 2-1.
2-1. So you're going for a tight one as well. And Grizz, over to you, mate.
Yeah, I think I don't think Burnley are a good team as well. I'm with Steve. I think that sort of the old tough away game at Burnley, I think, is a thing of the past. Especially with the injuries they've got. Yeah, I'm hearing like they've got 3-4 players, major players missing. As far as I've read or seen, Man United are full strength with Cavani coming back. Well, maybe Eric Bailly missing. That's the only one.
Yeah.
No, what's it called? Bailly might be 50-50. Lindelof, Pogba, and I think Shaw's out. I think so, yeah.
But I don't think they'll struggle at Burnley. I'm going for a comfortable 2-0 as well. Like comfortable 2-0.
2-0. Tobs.
I'm siding with Grizz and with Steve. I like Burnley, but they've not really impressed me this season. I think we're going to see a repeat of what Man United did to them last year. I'm trying to remember if Man United actually conceded. I know they scored 3, but I can't remember whether they conceded or not. But I think it's going to be a comfortable victory for United. Once the first goal goes in, it's going to be a floodgates open sort of scenario. So I think they're going to win that game comfortably, 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one that has a sneaky feeling that Burnley might actually nick a draw then.
I would love it. I just can't see it.
I think they might. I think United, obviously, you are very good there. I just feel like every time, it seems that United hit form, something stops them. Something stops them out of nowhere. And I just feel like everyone might expect it to be Liverpool, but it might just be Burnley where they, slip up first. I'm going to go for a 2-2. I think there's goals in the game, so I'm going to go for a 2-2. More hopeful than anything, but I'm mid-table in our prediction league, so I've got some risk to take. Let's see.
I don't know how you've worked this table out, man. I still want a steward's inquiry, man. How am I just coming? How am I just coming with 3 weeks?
The footage is on YouTube. The footage is on YouTube.
No one told me it's a serious thing, man. Now I'm going to do serious predictions, man. I was just winding up SAEED, man, with my predictions last time.
Listen, man.
Serious predictions.
I didn't even take the first few weeks into consideration, but don't worry, man. It's a long season ahead.
Yeah. Very long season.
Don't come with a defeated mentality, man.
I think me and Steve are going to be repping Liverpool and Man City, just like the real table. I think we're going to be very soon. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see about that in a couple of weeks. We'll see about that. Trump lost again with a super chat. Says he's from your one earlier, Matisse, right?
Yeah. This guy, he's everywhere at the moment.
Come on, big up Trump lost. Turkish, what is a successful season for Arsenal, winning the Europa League? And do you think Martinelli is injury prone? I'm worried for Martinelli. I'll let you guys start this discussion off first, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Martinelli, who wants to start that one off?
First of all, what's a successful season for Arsenal? I mean, at this point, I don't think you could expect anything more than Europa League football. I think it would be a bit harsh from where you've come from to be like, now you have to get into the Champions League, because there is a lot of people competing for that spot. But the expectation for Arsenal should never really be below Europe. I think after you go below that, then it starts to get real messy for the players. Even though you didn't have the most impactful transfer window potentially that you wanted, getting everyone you wanted, you still had big players come through the door. Do you know what I mean? You still had your Gabriels, you still had your parties. You know what I mean? You still have quality players up front like Aubameyang, like Saka. So for me, that team has got to be finishing the Europa League places minimum. I spoke about this with Turkish. I will get your thoughts on it as well, guys, after the stream with him earlier. I said maybe Arsenal actually need to finish outside Europe to one step forward to take two, one step backwards to take two forward, because every year they're in the Europa League and it's the Thursday, Saturday or Thursday, Sunday regime, and they don't really have the opportunity to do a Leicester or to do a Chelsea where you don't play any European football and it allows you to just focus on the league. So I don't know, maybe they need one of those seasons. Maybe they might get that, but expectation-wise, if you finish outside Europe, I think it's madness.
I think with them, I think they need the Europa League. They need it for financial reasons. We know that they're not, although they have spent their money in stupid areas, really and truly. I think they do need Europe in some shape or form. They need the added revenue. But I don't think they're going to finish in the Europa League spot this season, because I'm looking at it now. So what is it? Fifth, sixth, and seventh spot will get Europa League, right? So one of Spurs, Man United, and Chelsea are going to miss out on the top four. That's a fact. So you have one of those teams that are going to miss out on top four. You also have Leicester, who are in the mix as well. So that's fifth and sixth spot gone. And then you also have, of course, the route through winning the trophies. But do we see them winning the FA Cup this season? I don't think so. They're not winning the Carling Cup, and I don't see them winning the Europa League. So I don't know, man. Seventh spot this year can get a Europa League passage. But even then,
unless someone wins the FA Cup, but then they don't get the seventh place.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna need to take the teams who qualify for the Champions League, winning the FA Cup or the League Cup or whatever, and some of these teams going through a catastrophe for Arsenal to finish in the prime Europa League spot. So I think the highest I would probably target for them to finish this season is seventh.
Well, how did we get onto this from Martinelli? Sorry, but I missed that bit.
So Matisse was mentioning
expectations for the first part of the
successful season for Arsenal, and he was mentioning the point that he raised on an earlier stream with you, where he mentioned that you lot may need to go a season without Europe and just try and focus solely on the league. But I was saying that I think you need Europe.
I think I'm with Matisse on this. I think it would do wonders for them, especially with the kind of coach they've got that believes in coaching. And at the moment, like, our manager complains about it, but obviously we're it's different for us because we've got games like every 2-3 days. But he talks about not enough time on the training ground to make him earn his real money, which is coaching. And Arteta's all about coaching. We've seen his man management ain't brilliant because he's still young. He's still learning the art of man management. But in terms of coach, I think he's a fantastic coach. And a season and a pre-season with the players that he's got and he wants, maybe can get in. A season with just them having just a league to concentrate. All right, the cups when they come around, but without the distraction of Europe, he can get on them on the training ground. And I think he would really appreciate that more than the chance or the remote chance of winning Europa League. You know, I know they reached the final a year or two back, but this season, I think if they finish in the top 8, I think that's a successful season for them. I really do, considering their start. And Martinelli, I feel for the kid, man. I feel for the kid. I think he's sensational from what I've seen of him, but he just can't get any injury, a run free from injuries, man.
You know, I was about to ask you, would you have predicted top 8 as not predicted, would you have said top 8 as a successful season at the beginning of the season, keeping in mind our transfer activity? But I think that is pretty much the right answer because we didn't do enough in the transfer window. So that doesn't really change anything. But that pretty much says it. If a successful season for Arsenal is finishing top 8, then, you know, you've got big problems at the club. And it doesn't just come down to the manager. It's not just the manager you look at and think this club's only capable of top 8. It comes down to the players too. But Martinelli, he's definitely a shining light. But like I mentioned on Matisse's channel earlier, we might need to potentially sell him in 3-4 years and hopefully reinvest the money well, like Klopp did with Coutinho. You know, that's the best we can potentially hope for under current ownership, because it doesn't look like we're leaving that self-sustaining model. And if you're in that model, then you need an asset, and the next asset is going to be Martinelli, Saka, and Saka's got more chance of sticking out his career here than Martinelli does. So we'll keep it moving with him, I think, in the end. But where was we? Burnley, I predicted 2-2, and then what's the next one? Man City, Brighton. Steve, give me your thoughts on that. You beat Birmingham 3-0 in the cup, right?
Yeah, 3-0.
But Bernardo scored a nice goal in that game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. I don't know how he got his foot that high, to be honest. We're on a good run. I've said it the last few weeks. Before that, we wasn't, but we're the form team at the minute. We're looking good. I don't think Brighton's going to cause us any problems. That's not me being big-headed or anything. I just see the way we're playing at the minute. Everyone's got a lot of confidence on the back of the win against United and the win against Chelsea. So I can just see us. He's been doing a bit of rotation as well, Pep. He's been changing the full-backs and moving it about a little bit, which always helps. He played Kyle Walker at centre-half the other day, which is a strange one. He's done it before, but, I don't know. He's rotating it and he's keeping them busy and still winning. So Brighton's not going to fancy it. I think we'll dominate the game, and I can see us putting 4 past them, to be honest. I'm going to say 4-0 to City.
4-0, yeah? Nice, an early prediction. You lot are home, right? Yeah, home.
Yeah.
4-0 City. Might as well just move to your left and our right. SAEED.
Yeah, man. I think this is an easy one, man. City. You know what I mean? I think Brighton won't come out to... I think Brighton, to be fair, they'll come out to play. And I feel like that will be the downfall for them. You know what I mean? I think he plays good football. You know what I mean? But that'll be the downfall for them. As soon as you go toe-to-toe with City, it's game over, mate. You know what I mean? And I feel like City, yeah, man. I'm going to go 3-0 City. 3-0 City, man. I think they're on a roll right now. I think they've got winnable games coming up. I think they've got Fulham away. Sheffield United at home.
We've got a good run now. Got a really good run.
Yeah, man. They're coming out, mate. They're not messing around, are they now?
No.
So you're both going for an easy City victory, clean sheet as well. Matisse, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I have to agree. Unfortunately, I mean, at some point we're going to get to if this is going to be a formality for the big team, someone's going to slip up out of the big teams. But City, we saw them against United. I saw them up close against Chelsea as well. Played the man off the park both times, really. And when you've got, for me, the key for them is to start Foden again. Do you know what I mean? There's been a lot of Pep's done well to manage Foden, brought him into the team. He's eased him in, taken his time with him. He's been out of the spotlight somewhat compared to other English youngsters. And there's been a lot of media pressures to play him. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure to speed up the progress for Foden because he was seen as David Silva's kind of successor, which I think he will be. But now he's in great form for me. This is the perfect game for him again. It's Brighton. They're not a team that I associate with playing like negative football, deep low block. Do you know what I mean? They do try and play their stuff, Brighton. I feel like Man City will just be able to cut them apart as well. The only thing that I hope is that at least put up a better fight than Man United and Chelsea did. Do you know what I mean? I want to see Man City tested now because the big teams so far in the last couple of weeks ain't been doing that. You know, Man United, Chelsea, they haven't really been clinical. They haven't been cutthroat in the final third. You know, Man City still did give a few opportunities to Man United to do something in the final third against them in the cup, but opportunities were just wasted. Whether Brighton can be that clinical team, I don't know, but I would hope so that, you know, it's not just an easy road for Man City, because if it is, then they'll be they will be walking back into the top two for me quite quickly if someone doesn't slow them down. Do you know what I mean? I'm starting to see De Bruyne come out with quotes saying, you know, we're feeling up for it now. We're getting our old selves again. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go. Do you know what I mean? It's like Man City for the last, decade have been up there every year. Do you know what I mean? Without fail, top three minimum, top two. And it would be nice if they could just calm, just bring it down.
Take a break. Take a break for a year.
Take a couple down some notches. Do you know what I mean? I need the traditional old four back when I was a little kid. Do you know what I mean? United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea. I need that back. Do you know what I mean? If you could just take it down a couple of notches for a season or not. Pep signed a new contract for me, kind of ruined that hope. And then,
yeah, I was gonna actually move on. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm gonna move back to you. But I was gonna ask you next, like, do you think this is, and it sounds like you do, and I actually agree, the beginning of the new age City, and in terms of like Diaz coming in, Pep re-signing a contract, and obviously moving on from Aguero slowly but surely will be the next step.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to re-cleanse their team. You know, Company leaves, Yaya Toure, we spoke about last show. Aguero is coming towards the end. You know, that first stint, that first real moment of domination from Man City is starting to be phased out now, and then there's a new period. I was hoping that new period wouldn't be under Pep. I thought Pep would stay and maybe get a little bit bored now and maybe move on to another club, maybe go to Italy, Juventus, to take over from Sarri potentially. But now it looks like there's a new age coming in with this Man City team. Diaz has been unbelievable this season, Joe. He's not spoken about very often. I think that's a good sign for a centre back. When you're not top quality. When you're not spoken about, it means you're not making any glaring errors. So that's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Everyone forgets it's his first season coming over from Portugal. These Portuguese players are taking nicely to our league, aren't they? Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? You've got him and Bruno settled in nice and quickly. So yeah, I think what will be interesting, I know this is for future shows way off at the end of the season, but the transfer activity has been very quiet in January, but there was rumours of Messi to Man City and whatnot, and you know, all of that saga. So it will be interesting to see if that ever happens, because if it does,
that's happening. That's happening, 100%. Oh, seriously, Tolbert, have I told you this before? You know, don't you? I'm telling you that's happening.
If that happens,
Agent Steve, Agent Steve, and that.
That's happening. Trust me.
How do you know that's happening?
Quote me on this. That Messi Man City deal done.
Done. Wow. Don't make me go to the bookies, Steve. Don't be done.
Can't get the odds. It's odds on anyway, but it's done. It's done. It's done.
I'd say PSG. I'd say PSG on the picture as well.
Yeah, man. Pochettino, man.
I don't know because they've got Neymar and Mbappe. I don't know if their wage structure could handle.
Mbappe's gone, man. Mbappe's gone.
Yeah, but
they want
Real Madrid.
He's not going Real Madrid. Real Madrid.
And honestly, one of the guys that I know is a French football expert. He said that he's going to Real Madrid next year.
Yeah,
okay. We'll see.
They can't afford him right now.
Or Liverpool. I'm just gonna put it out there. Or Liverpool. I'm serious.
No way with Liverpool.
Imagine Mbappe Kirby, man. It's just not happening, man.
Well, doesn't it look?
I think as well, you got to give a bit of credit to Pep this season, because early on when we got walloped off Leicester and got beat off Tottenham, he was getting a lot of criticism, saying he's found out, he's finished, the team's this, that, and the other. And you know what? The sign of a quality manager that we all know he is. He's regrouped it. and he's got them back winning, and he's had to make some big decisions. He's had to drop Laporte, and he's brought in John Stones and everyone. In other clubs, I'm not being funny or picking the names, but in other clubs, if you dropped a superstar player like that and brought somebody in like that, he'd only get 1 or 2 games and the fans would be on his back. But the thing is with us at City, we trust the manager, we trust Pep. He don't always get it right, but there's always a little bit of method in his madness. So you've got to, sometimes I will look at a game and I've got Cancelo running around in centre midfield, Kyle Walker's playing up front, De Bruyne's filling at left back, and you think, what's going on here? But you've just got to trust the process, and you trusted the process. And looking at Man City now, we do look like a totally different team than what we did at the beginning of the season. So I've got to say hats off to Pep. And he's getting the best out of Johnny Stones. He got the best out of Zinchenko, played at Old Trafford. I was worried sick, and he looked like a world beater. And we're playing at the minute with very limited resources up front, with Aguero going down and Jesus has had COVID. But he's making the system work, and he's trying new things, and it's working. So just got to say hats off to Pep and keep doing what we're doing.
In saying that, with no strikers available, I still go with a 4-1 win for City.
It's mad, isn't it?
They force the ball into the net. That's the problem with City. They force the ball into the net.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a joke, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
De Bruyne's loving that role up there, that false 9. He's loving that role up there.
Yeah.
You know? And I think with him going up there, I think that frees up a space for Foden more now. And I think if Foden continues to play as he's playing, and Kev does play that higher up the pitch, that might be switching something in Pep's head, and he might continue with that system all season. He might not even need another striker, but you know, you never know.
True.
Yeah, even Bernardo Silva this season, I think he's improved on last season. That's for sure. He hasn't touched the heights of the season before, but
no. And I thought he was going to kick on, you know, and something happened with Bernardo. I can't put my finger on it, but that season we won the league. He was unbelievable, and then he just seemed to go off the boil. But I mean, it was tough for him. It was a bit of a stop-starter last season. But if he can get a run in the team and pick up that form from the previous year, we've got quite a lot of decent players there, and if we can get them all ticking like he's doing now, I've said it to Grizz before. We are capable of going after Christmas, of going on that crazy run. We've done it before, and I think that's what Pep will be telling them, to keep the momentum going, keep it going. That's why he feels these strong teams in these cup games, because you've got to keep the momentum rolling all the time. You don't disrespect your opponent, and just keep the players ticking, keep them fresh, keep them playing, and then, you know, it brings a momentum and a mentality and a winning mentality, and then all of a sudden, it's like a snowball. You're rolling towards that title, and you just got to keep on going.
Yeah,
I hear you, Grizz. What's your thoughts on the game and prediction?
In terms of the thoughts on this game and prediction, it's a straightforward City win. City are the best team in the league by far at the moment. Currently, you know, as I said, they're oozing class and control at the moment. So that's the prediction out of the way. I think 4-0 is probably the most popular scoreline to predict. So I'm going to go 5-0 just to try to get that extra point to catch up, Steve. I got to throw in a wild card. I got to catch up the table.
That's why you part with the league, Grizz, man. You know, just be humble. Go with the 4-0.
No, 5-0. But in terms of the resurgent City, in terms of looking forward into the next season or two, I don't think they're at that stage yet. I think some of you are going overboard with the praise in terms of going forward. I think Pep's signing was massive for them, was huge for them. I still see plenty of chinks in their armor. I still think Liverpool would have been 7-8 points clear if we had our players, you know, but the fact is we haven't. But I still think City can win the next. They've won their last 4 league games, I think. And I can definitely see them winning the next 5, 6. And to me, this might come as a shock to Liverpool fans, but I think that will be enough, in my opinion, to win this season's Premier League. But that's only because of the situation we're in, I think. It's definitely Liverpool and City domination. I still don't think Man United or Spurs and Chelsea have done anything to sort of suggest that next year's race or the year after, even the next 2 title races, is going to be between us. I just don't see the City I saw of 2 seasons ago. Now, obviously, I know that's an obvious thing to say, but usually you can see City, you know, we talk about results in a mad season, they still haven't gone clear. We are talking 18, 19 games into the season, right? If it was the new resurgent City, that all dominating City, they'd be 7-8 points clear by now. So there has been issues. I think those issues are still there, but the major factor they've improved on, where they've improved on, is the signing of centre back Diaz. He's been a revelation. Currently the best centre back in the league, and that's what they needed. Personnel. The system will always be Pep's system. The system will always be changing rotation of players, inverted fullbacks. Sometimes he changes it, inverted strikers, all sorts, right? But what they needed was someone stable who stays fit, who loves defending, and you can see that in Ruben Diaz. He actually loves it. He loves defending. He's one of the few City players that fucking loves it, like the old school Zabaleta. Steve, you know more, but Zabaleta loved defending, and they haven't had that. Now they've got that. Even Laporte, he's a ball playing centre half. He likes to look good, I think, more than get himself dirty. But you see some of the blocks Diaz is putting in.
I've got an interesting feeling, that he plays Zinchenko at left back. I think if he plays Laporte at left back, that is an absolute outstanding back four. If he plays Laporte at left back, which he has done before, so you've got.
Yes, I was going to say he has tried that. He tried that against us a couple of times. In the games
he has Stone Walker. If you just say to Laporte, obviously don't go bombing down the flank trying to cross it, just stick in your defensive role. I think that's a solid unit. I think he will use Laporte at left back soon.
I just think Diaz and the signing of Diaz has been an absolute masterstroke, and I think they're going to pip us. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not forget the banner, forget the gas, but I just generally think they're going to pip us to the title this season.
Long way yet, I think.
Oh no! If we had Verge and Gomez, we'd win it again quite comfortably. But we haven't, and that's
sounds like a new Chris. Sounds like a Chris, man. Listen, I thought you were confident about the league.
No, I'm being
SAEED.
Can I change my name to the realist?
No, I just thought you were confident about the league. I didn't know you were but listen,
it's a mad season. I wasn't
crazy season.
You're going with a 5-0, yeah?
No.
What about you, Tobs?
I'm going with 4-0 to Man City. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Man City are miles clear of Brighton. This is a Brighton team that haven't won in 8 Premier League matches. This is a Brighton team that conceded 3 goals to a Wolves side with no Jimenez. 3 goals to a Wolves side who are like the joint fifth lowest scorers in the Premier League. Brighton are a decent side when they're on the ball, but when they're off the ball, they can't defend, and they've got rubbish finishes up top. So I see nothing but a routine Man City win, and similar to what we discussed with Leeds playing into our hands when we beat them 3-0, Brighton are going to play perfectly into Man City's hands, and Man City are going to win comfortably. So yeah, 4-0 to me. And then on the Man City hype train, etc., I think I do agree with Grizz. I do think that the talk of Man City is a bit too reactionary because of the form that they've showed now. But at the same time, I felt like the criticism that was placed on Man City when they were faltering was over the top as well, because this is a team that have finished in the top 2 in the league for the past 3 seasons. This is a team that spent 150-something million this season as well. Pep is expected to challenge for the league title, and with the squad he had available, he was always going to bounce back. But whether they can go that one step further and win the league, time will tell. They're looking good right now. They're the inform side. Ruben Diaz is firmly in the swing of things right now. Even John Stones is playing well. Steve knows that I don't really rate John Stones, but they're playing well. They're in a cup final as well, so they look like they're back to being like a really serious side. And real football fans would have expected that because they're a serious team. But I just feel like with Man City, when Steve says, I can see us going on a run similar to 18-19, I can't see that. They're not gonna go 14 games winning against everyone. The league is too strong for that. It simply is, and it's not a slight on Man City. The league is just too strong for Man City right now to go 14 games winning straight. It's not going to happen.
What about unbeaten?
They won't go unbeaten for 14 games straight. No.
I
Make
agree
sure you
with you.
save that comment. Save that comment there. That's right there. Save that.
Save it. How many games is it now? Let me count it. 1 sec.
49 minutes in, Steve. 49 minutes in. Remember
And the thing is, Steve knows this as well because I like Man City. I'm not. I get it. Man City are not the same Man City they were 2 years ago. But I've always felt that all this nonsense about how they might not finish in the top 4. Oh, their squad's average outside of Kevin De Bruyne. It's nonsense. It's been nonsense as well. But I'm just looking at it now. So they've beaten Southampton.
I think 7.
Southampton, Man City, Southampton, Newcastle, Chelsea. Yeah, so that's 3 games straight that they've won in the league now. So they need to win 11 more, or they need to go unbeaten for 11 more matches. I can't see it happening.
You've seen the fixtures.
I know. It's winnable, but
it's not going to
I
happen.
get where it's coming from, though. This Premier League is why it's called the Premier League, the most entertaining league in the world. You know what I mean?
Right now is a crucial time, I think, because of the way it's set up, and usually the Christmas period you hit the 19 game mark.
This is why I said
it's been a bit different. We haven't even hit that mark. A few teams have 2 games in hand, and I think if any team does go unbeaten for 9-10 games, they got a firm grip on the league title. And
yeah,
I agree with Tobes. I think that no one would have thought they would have done enough in the summer to win the title challenge, but because the season's so up and down, they're in with a shout. And I'm going to go with a 3-0. I think SAEED said 3-0. I'm going to go with a 3-0. And straight back to Toby for Tottenham Fulham.
I think we'll win this one 2-1 or 3-1. I don't think it's going to be a straightforward routine victory. I think Fulham are unbeaten in their last 3 matches. Scott Parker's done the unthinkable, the impossible. He's actually taught them how to defend as a unit. And we saw that evidence to devastating effect against Liverpool. And in addition to them defending well, they have players who are very, very quick in transition, and can catch you out. So I don't think this is going to be a stroll in the park for us. I think we'll labour to a win, but we'll win regardless. We're the better side. We have the better players. We have better options off the bench. We will win. So 2-1 for me. I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1. You lot are home, right? Yeah. 2. What, you think it's going to be that tight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Grizz, over to you.
I think rested Harry. I think they rested the majority of their team. Fulham got a few injury problems, which is going to happen. The smaller clubs in this period the players are going to be dropping like flies. Like Brighton got 5 players missing for the City game. I read Fulham have got a few players missing as well. Spurs are in a good place. They rested most of their players. They haven't fallen away kind of things. They've had a couple of up and down results, but they're there and thereabouts. So I'm going for a routine. I'm with Toby. No team's in a state to win clear 4-5-0 apart from City at the moment. The rest are just trying to get through games. And I think this is one of those games where they're just going to try and get through it. Another London derby, which always, plays a part. I think, as Toby says, they've got a couple of good players. I like their midfielder, man. How do you say his name? Anguissa?
Yeah.
Bro, absolute machine, bro. But yeah, something Arsenal could do in midfield, You're looking at if you was looking at a central midfielder. But yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0. Low scoring. Matisse, what about you?
I'm a bit more confident in Tottenham than the rest of them. I think Fulham have got us as well on Saturday, so they've got 2 games this week, which is going to be rough. But our fixture got moved. I just think Kane and Son, that partnership, man, I just think is too strong. Do you know what I mean? I know Fulham have worked on their defense. I know they've improved. They're still 18th, but it's a rough ride for everyone at the moment in that bottom half of the table. A couple wins and you can take yourself out of the whole thing. But I just think that the chemistry between Kane and Son has been ridiculous of late. It just continues to keep reaching new heights, and a lot of people say it's not sustainable, but it's just them two, and that it just takes one injury and then suddenly you're missing one of your main outlets for goals, and then where the goals going to come from? Are they going to come from Bergwijn, or are they going to come from Ndombele in midfield, or who's going to start turning up for Tottenham? But that's all hypotheticals. Right now, they're fully fit. Do you know what I mean? They're scoring, they're assisting each other. The link-up play is fantastic. And I just think they're at home. I think Tottenham have got too much in the tank for them in terms of quality. And again, like you said, they've rested their players as well. And Fulham have got a few issues. And they've got also another fixture against us. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not pandering or anything, but if you're Fulham, do you know what I mean? You're looking at which team to go up against. It's going to be, you can probably hope to get points out of. It's going to be us versus Tottenham, do you know what I mean? Because we're still trying to get through our sticky period. We had a win against Morecambe and whatnot, but we're still very much in the thick of our run, and we need to get out of it quickly. So I think Kane and Son, look how happy he is.
I had to.
Brother's delighted.
I'm so happy you said it. I'm happy you said it, bro.
I have to say, I am confident going up against Fulham because they have a fixture congestion. But if I'm Fulham and I'm looking at which game, the table don't lie.
That one, isn't it?
Yeah, the table don't lie. So it's a madness. There's a lot of London derbies flowing over the place. But yeah, I think Tottenham will take them probably 3-0. I think it'll be a lot easier than we think.
Yeah, I thought you'd go with that score because I'm going to go with that score as well. I think 3-0. I think, Tottenham, I know they got their, foot on the brakes a little bit against the bigger sides, but against Leeds, you saw them, open up a lot more. And I think you'll see the same against Fulham. And like Matisse said, I think Fulham will have one eye on Chelsea. And for a team like that, the best hope is to get something out of one of those games. And that will probably be the one they try harder or try look to most. 3-0 Kane, Son, masterclass again. As much as I hate to say it, but over to you, Steve.
Yeah, I agree with everybody else. I can't see Fulham doing anything. I think Tottenham are having a good season. I think, like you say, they played Marine the other day, rested a few players, people will be fresh. And I think, I can see Tottenham 3-0.
Tottenham 3-0, yeah?
Yeah, 3-0.
3-0 SAEED.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 2-0 Fulham. I'm just looking at Toby's face and he was like, what is he on about?
He's smiling too much, isn't it? That comment, as soon as he said that, I looked at Tobes and he was
I didn't even look at Tobes. I was so shocked to say that. I was like, this brother.
No. I'm not that kind of crazy, but I think, for me, man, I don't even watch, like enjoying watching Tottenham, man. I think there's a team that just probably Tottenham are just like a highlights team where, you go match a day, just watch their goals, man, because they're not really inspiring in terms of they're efficient. And you know what is their credit to them, but I just look at them, it's a bit boring, man. And I feel like for me, I'm gonna go with a 2-0 Tottenham, Hurricane and Son to score. And I think that's it, man. Mourinho, efficient football. He will get you trophies, but it's gonna be a very, very painful watch, man.
Two. I think as everyone said, a win. Yeah, everyone said a comfortable win, man. Aside from Tobes, what? Yeah, you said 2-1, innit? You was the most.
Yeah.
If I ask you again after what Matisse said, maybe you'll open up a bit more as well.
It's very rare to have anything good to say about Tottenham, but when you see a partnership like that, you have to speak on it. Do you know what I mean? It's deadly.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, the last one, to be honest, of the week. Obviously, we're back on Friday, and the Chelsea Fulham game has been rearranged. So it's Arsenal or Crystal Palace on Thursday, and obviously, I might as well start with this. We're on a 4-game winning streak. Free league. Say that again.
Are you home?
Yeah, we're home. Yeah. Okay. Next couple at home, Palace and Newcastle. So I'm only looking 1-2 games ahead, and Palace are beatable. It's gonna be a tight game. I think Zaha will obviously cause problems, especially considering whose side he will probably play on, and Bellerin probably starting the game. But it'll be a good test as well, because I think even though we've been on a 4-game run, I feel like a few of the teams, none have really stood up to fight. I feel like they all. Yeah, even Newcastle, even though it was a 0-0, I feel like we let ourselves down more so than Newcastle standing up to fight. Even though Carroll played, he didn't really get himself about as much as he used to, or what you'd expect him to. So I think we're going to get a good test from Palace, a good test from Zaha in particular. I think we've got enough. Emil Smith-Rowe will start, Saka will start. They was on the bench on the weekend. It's a shame with Martinelli. That's obviously a big shame. Oba should start on the left, and Laka starts up top. So it kind of falls into Arteta's lap again in terms of should you drop Oba for Martinelli? Should you drop him for Lacazette? The decision's made again. Lucky for him. And I think we've got enough. 2-1. I think 2-1 Arsenal. It'll be tight, but we'll get the win. Steve, over to you.
I think it'll be tight. Obviously, I backed Arteta and a big up Arsenal a little bit, but I just think Crystal Palace are one of them teams where they seem to get a few results where you think, for the pony these, and then all of a sudden, bang, they pull something mad out of the hat. Because you look at Palace as a team, and they've got all the tools to do people damage. They've got pace, they've got power. You know, they've got a bit of experience with Kale and things like that, and then it just all seems a bit of a mishmash at the minute. I mean, Zaha's key to them. If he's on form, you know, he can do anyone a damage. I still think Arsenal will win, but I think I can see it being like 1-0, old school 1-0 to the Arsenal. Yeah, I just think Mikel's got a little bit of confidence going through him at the minute. They're trying to get back up there. The young lads are putting in a shift and they're starting to perform. He's keeping faith with them, so obviously, you know, it's a good sign. And I think, I think Arsenal will get another win, and Arteta gets to keep his job for a few more weeks.
I think he's safe for the season now, but yeah, SAEED.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a similar kind of scoreline. Very, very tense, very, very edgy. You know what? Palace remind me of like Leeds. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're just crazy. You know what I mean? They're up and down, like Steve says. You know, 1 week they can provide a kind of unbelievable performance, and then just next week, you know, it's just a bit like uninspiring. I think you got to watch out for Eze. Eze's one of them, man. I think he's a real player, man. I don't know how top 6 clubs have not come in for him, man. It's criminal. But
have you heard his story that, you know, he played for us up until 13 and we let him go. He cried for a time. It nearly had a mental effect. And
Arsenal, man.
So this is the team to be playing right now for him. I think he's going to be out.
He's going to be seeking
someone in the comments remind me about Thomas Partey's back as well, which is big. So
big
Gabriel as well.
Yeah.
True.
Wow, okay, then fair enough. Then you know what?
Titans.
But still, I think it'll be a 2-1 kind of game. You know what? It could be a 2-1 either side, but I just feel like Arsenal at home, I think they'll win it. You know what I mean? I think Lacazette is going to be key for you. You know, I think Lacazette, as much as we give him banter, he's come up last few games. It's been kind of key to Arsenal and what they've been doing, like holding the ball up, linking the play. So I think Lacazette to get the winner, 2-1.
He's very important right now. The only thing is, you know, he's been important in the past, but he doesn't maintain the consistency. So I hope to see this for at least 10 to 15 more games. And then you might sway me in terms of should we give him a new contract. But right now, I think it's all good in terms of adding value onto his price tag. So SAEED says 2-1 as well. And Tobes, over to you.
I mean, I can't see anything but an Arsenal win. Pains me to say that. I'd like Crystal Palace, and I like Roy Hodgson, but I just feel like he's a bit too uninspired in his approach. You look at games like Man United away, you see what this team are capable of when you let the foot off the gas a little bit and let them cause havoc against the opposition. But I feel like Roy, he's too rigid. He's going to go there setting up to contain, to try and soak up pressure, to try and hit you on the break, as opposed to try and relaxing his stance a little bit, not losing all solidity, but relaxing his stance a little bit and giving his better attacking players more freedom. And for that reason and that reason only, with Arsenal's form and the players they have coming back, I can't see anything but an Arsenal win. I think it's going to be 3-1 to Arsenal. Crystal Palace of what? I'm looking at the stats now. I can't, because I remember I was reading up on this a few days ago. They've won like one game in their one out of their last 6 Premier League matches, and they're going away to the Emirates. I can't see it happening. They're going to lose.
Yeah. They have got a good recent. Well, it's an up and down record against Arsenal recently, but they've got a couple of big ones that have hurt us in the past. But Grizz, over to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, just off from memory, I don't know for a fact, but I thought Palace has got a decent record against you guys at your ground, especially. I slightly disagree with Toby. I think he has let them play a bit more, and and that's why their results have been as they have been, because normally they were just so strictly defense only and no attack, but he has, and that's why in some games he's got quite a bit of a beating. But then, and I also think they're much better away from home, especially with the likes of Townsend, Zaha, and Eze. They've recruited now as well. So, but Arsenal, it's funny we're saying like they're going to the Emirates. Like suddenly there's a bit of confidence back about going to the Emirates is a tough game now as well, which is credit to Arsenal and his boys, Arteta and his boys. I think Arsenal, by my opinion, I think Arsenal in a good moment, and I think they just nicked this. But I'm going for a 1-0 to Arsenal.
1-0 like Steve, the good old Arsenal saying.
He's looking a bit suspect there. What's he saying?
Everything's been a formality until now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, man. I've got a sneaky feeling in the back of my mind that Palace do something. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I just look at them on the counter with, Eze, you got Townsend, you got Zaha, like you've been mentioning. I just think there's a lot of pace and trickery in that. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that Tierney on that side, that's fine. But on that left-hand side, with your right backs, I don't know, man. There's something there. Do you know what I mean? For me, your left-hand side, I've liked Gabriel, I've liked Tierney, Saka when he was over there. Saka's been really good since he's been moved over to the right wing as well. So credit to Arteta for that. But I do feel like, Arsenal are confident. The players might be confident, but it could be a mentality check where, hold on, are they gonna be overconfident? You'd hope not with the position that they're in. But when you get a little run together, sometimes your concentration can just flip off, and the next thing you know, you get stung. And I think Palace is set up perfectly for the break. Do you know what I mean? I think the players that they've got, especially for me, that if you didn't have an issue at right back, I wouldn't be saying this. But because of the way that you've been using your right back this season, you've been using Bellerin so heavily. For me, I just feel like that channel there is asking to be hit at. I think, we didn't take advantage of it when we played you. I was pissed. Do you know what I mean? I said to myself, that is such an opportunity for a Hudson-Odoi or a Pulisic to go over there and wreak havoc. And we didn't take advantage. And I feel like at some point someone will. And when you got man like Eze just doing his madness on the wings and whatnot, and Zaha probably, they could even double up. If they see Tierney's playing well, I've personally shouted for Tierney to even be captain. But if they see that Tierney's having a great game, which he's been in good form lately, even got a goal as well, then they might just say to themselves, let's just double up on the left-hand side and just make an overload, which is what Chelsea did against Aston Villa, and it worked quite well. And it not only does it give the right back space to bomb forward, but it just doubles up on that weak area that I still see with Arsenal. So I'm gonna go over 2-2, but it could go evil. It could go any way. Like I said, I think it's a dangerous one. I really do. I think it's a dangerous game.
I wanted to ask you something, if you don't mind. I think Arteta's got a bit of a selection headache at centre back, right? Because Holding's been holding it up. Pardon the pun. You got Pablo Mari's been coming in and look nice, and you got Gabriel, who was, probably your only decent player that was playing in the first 15, 16 games. So I think he's got a bit of a selection headache there. What do you think he's going to do?
I think the two best centre backs at the moment at the club are Gabriel and Mari, but because they're both left-footed, I struggle to see it. I know it sounds like it should work because two right-footed centre backs work all the time, but right-footed centre backs are used to playing on the left side and the right side, whereas left-footed centre backs tend to get deployed primarily on the left side. So I'd like to see it because it's the best two we have, but it might not be the best partnership. Look at City with Laporte at one time with company, and now it looks like maybe Stones suits Diaz a bit better than Laporte. So sometimes it's all about styles matching up to it. And Holding, he has been holding it up. No pun intended. That's exactly what he has been doing. So I think the dilemma comes to Mari and Gabriel. Do you drop Mari?
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Me, I'm doing Mari and Gabriel. I think Palace at home you can test it out against Palace at home and then Newcastle at home. It's ideal games to test it out against. Enough of a test, but not too much of a threat. So I think if you're going to test two left-footed centre-backs out, do it on Thursday, Mari, Gabriel.
He's not going to revert to a 3, is he? Because in my opinion, looking at it from the outside, that would be the cowardly approach. Like in terms of, not that he's going defensive, but he's not he still ain't got the balls to make a hard decision and just end up playing 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? So this will be a test for Arteta in terms of his selection as well. I think that's one to keep an eye on, because if he goes over,
he should play. He should play. He should play weak because Matisse made a good point about Bellerin. Bellerin is awful. He should be Ainsley Maitland-Niles should. I don't even rate him highly, but he should be starting ahead of Bellerin anyway. And I feel like this game in particular, with the physicality that the likes of Eze and Zaha will pose as a threat, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has to be playing. You can match him.
But also to add, if you play that left-footed defender at right centre back and Izzy and Zaha start getting onto them 1v1, it can get real sticky very quickly, because a defender, and it even happened with Thiago against West Brom, they're used to defending at certain angles, and when you switch those angles up, they can get wrong-footed and suddenly they don't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like the brain don't process to the feet quick enough, and next thing you know, it gets mad.
I think we're ready.
What Thiago?
Huh?
What Thiago?
Thiago Silva, when he had
say his name. Bro, say his name. Because Thiago, there's only one Thiago in the Premier League.
We're operating like
only one.
You know,
there's only one Thiago in the Premier League, my brother.
You know what it is for me? I don't think you can. I don't think you can, like, you know, say any defender is of quality to kind of, you know, nullify Eze and Zaha. Anyway, I think any defender will struggle. So you're talking about Gabriel. It's his first season, man. You know what I mean? Pablo Mari. I've never heard of the guy before until he came to the Premier League. You know what I mean? Holding. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I think we're kind of. I'm not saying we're not overrating these players, but I think Eze anyway will cause some problems. It's all about just kind of scoring on the other side and making it, you know.
Yeah, but it's about limiting. It's about limiting the opposition with what you've got available. And I'm not saying that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to be a 10 out of 10 defensively, but I'm saying he will be harder to go up against than Bellerin. And then also Turkish. I wanted to quickly come back to you. Do you really think that Mari's better than David Luiz? Like, I don't rate David Luiz, but I feel like he's a better centre back than Mari, surely.
Nah, not from what I've seen. I've seen Mari for a year, and in that year he's had one injury. So I've seen him for, let's say, maybe 15 to 20 games, and he reads the game very well. He's going to be caught out for pace a lot, and when he gets caught out for pace, he's going to be made to look stupid as defenders. Be caught out. So
you know, Mari. You know, he was a City player, Mari.
I know. I heard.
Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he? So was Omar Rekik, the kid we just signed. He was at his brother as well.
I remember him. I didn't know Mari was. I knew about the Rekik guy.
And he brought Omar with him, but Mari went to Girona on loan and stuff like that. He was a good player. I don't know if he had work permit issues, and we sent him. I think we sold him back to Flamengo or somewhere like that.
Yeah. I think Tobes with Luiz, we bought him. And he conceded the most penalties and got the most red cards. I think that pretty much tells me that his reading of the game now, especially with VAR, is terrible. So whatever he was, he isn't now. So I just have to say that Mari is probably the second best defender at this club.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. And then before we wrap it up, because it's 10 past, well, it's 1 hour, 10 minutes gone already. There was a super chat earlier, an American fan. And I just want to quickly just ask you guys, because he said that certain YouTubers or influencers will use that go into games means you're more of a fan. In my opinion, I'll give you my opinion first. Go into games shows you love the club, shows you care about the club. It's not the only way to show it, but it does show it. Does it show that you're more of a fan than someone who's abroad or as an Arsenal fan outside of London? No, it doesn't, because the opportunity is there for me. The opportunity is not there for others. Does anyone have anything to add on to that?
I hate this argument, because I've been a match goer. I've gone to games and I've been far away, so I've done both sides of it. I hate this argument because when people speak about this, they speak like everyone can go to games, like everybody lives in the same part of the world. Like we don't have international fans in Australia or in Asia waking up at God knows what time to watch the game, or waking up before
the club don't run.
Yeah, waking up before school and watching the game, getting no sleep and having to set alarm clocks and buying the shirts online, buying the merchandise and whatnot. It's just such an outdated mindset, and I hate it. It's just lazy what it is for me. When someone's losing an argument, if it's a match goer and they're losing an argument, that is what they'll draw to. They'll draw to that. It's a weak point to make. It's a stupid, nonsensical point. And, you know, people in this day and age as well, to be asking people to be flying across the world to go and see their club. It's not always financially feasible for everyone. So for me, it's a brain dead point. I don't want to be rude. Do you know what I mean? But for me,
no, you're right.
It's just a stupid point. I can't tolerate it, because as someone that goes to games, you should just take it as a privilege that you can go. Do you know what I mean? And leave it at that. Adding anything else to it, it's just nonsensical for me. Nonsensical.
I think there's a snobbery that comes with fans who can go to games, and I 100% agree with Matisse. You don't know people's circumstances. You could have the most diehard fan, but they can't go to that game because they live hundreds of thousands of miles away from the stadium, and it's going to cost them an arm and a leg to get to and from the ground at the same time. What I will say though is, if you are a huge fan and you have the financial resources and you live close to your team, then really and truly, you should be able to go to get to the stadium here and there. But generally, back on the snobbery, what you'll find is it's weird. It's like probably half of the fans who actually go to games are the most ignorant. I've met so many fans who are diehard Spurs fans, and they don't have a clue. They don't have a Scooby-Doo about their own team or teams around them. And more often than not, I'm having intellectual and insightful conversations about football with people who don't even go to a quarter of the games that these are going to. So what I really have to ask is, when you're going to these games, what are you watching? Because you want to use it as a way to beat people down because you have a privilege of going to more matches than they do. But when it's actually time to talk football about the teams, you're dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Just to add, because there was another part to the question which I wanted to point out as well, is that you support your local, right? So the argument that will come back at me is, oh, you should just support the team that's closest to you than if you live in Australia. Well, how about, you say to people then, okay, cool. Well, then don't listen to music from America then. Don't listen to music from that country. Don't eat food from that country. It's just stupid. You can start belittling it down to these little things that everybody enjoys in life, whether it be sport, music, food, culture. Everybody gets inspired and watches and enjoys different things. And they get, some people will watch a Tottenham game maybe live in God knows what country, and then they get inspired by a certain player or whatnot. Then they start supporting and following. It's just so basic and so mundane, and it's tiring, man. In 2021, for that to even be a question, the fact that person felt that they needed to ask the question, for me, is worrying, because it's such an outdated point that you could put into any different aspect, any genre, and it don't make sense. Silly. It's a shame.
Yeah.
I think it's down. I think a lot of it is down to how successful the team is. Because I, for one, when I was young and I was watching City in Division 2, we never seen any foreign fans at City. We never seen any interaction from foreign fans. You might get the odd Norwegian supporters could turn up and things like that, and then that was it. And then on the other side of the coin, as the club grew, and obviously as we started winning things, obviously you attract them fans, which, they're entitled to support a team, and that's fine. But then what happened with City is they had a massive PR disaster when they started offering some sort of priority tickets to people abroad, and priority tickets to YouTubers and daft things. They started doing all sorts of daft stuff. And then the hardcore fan base that stuck with the club through Division 2 then started to become riled and started to go. And then you caused a divide between the match-going fan from years ago and the new fan. I mean, I've got to give credit to City. Now they've bridged that gap. I think the City fans are starting to come into it and think, you know what, it's a big wild world out there. All Man City fans can't come from Moss Side and all go to the same pub and have a pint and go to the game. It just doesn't work. So I have seen it. I've seen fans who I've been to the game with, who have been like, we've been to an away game, Fulham away. You get maximum loyalty points. I've been sat in the crowd and there's been 10 guys in front of me with a Norwegian name on the shirt. Now, how they've got them tickets in that away end, when it's on a loyalty point system, is a joke. When I know lads that have been for 20 years that couldn't get a ticket, that's what was winding people up. So that's what was causing the argument with the City fans. But I've got no problem. Listen, I speak to City fans from all over the world, and they're as passionate about Manchester City as me. And they get up at all hours, and they do stuff like that. And listen, I think it's great. Football's a universal game. The internet and everything's brought everyone together. And listen, someone's dedication is not for you to judge. Someone's circumstances is not for you to judge. If I go home and away every year and somebody sat in Australia doesn't but he's up every night. He's watching the Blues. He buys the shirts, like Matisse says, and does all that. We're all in it together. And I just think if your club makes everybody feel a part of it and does it proper, I think everyone gets along. But like you say, I have seen that side when City got it a lot wrong, when certain supporters clubs were getting. I think I went to Real Madrid in the semi-final of Champions League. I must have left 20 or 30 pals at home that didn't qualify for a ticket. I gets in Madrid in the centre of the town, and there's guys there and people there who I've never seen in my life with tickets, and then that just rubbed people up the wrong way. So I understand where people go, oh, you're plastic, you don't go to the game, or you're plastic, you live in China or whatever. So I'm just putting it out there that does happen. But, you know, it is what it is. I think at the minute, football's mad. We're all feeling it now, and I think we're all together more than ever now, because none of us can go to the game. So all them people you slagged off for not going to the game, they're exactly the same as you. We're all the same. So it is what it is. But yeah, I have seen it, and I've seen them divides.
Sorry,
Chris,
you probably want to wrap it up. I was just going to quickly add to Steve, because I'm so glad Steve brought out that there is a balance that clubs have to strike, and Steve, spoken very well about it. It is a balance, and you have to realize that international fans are just as important as local fans, but then don't forget the local fans at the same time. They are the foundation and the root of your club. Yeah. They are the foundation. They're the base of your club. But once you want to become a global institution, then all these things have to be, part of it. But as long as the club's PR team is on it and it strikes a balance, as you said, I think, the owners of Man City, I think they've done an absolute outstanding job. There's not many owners like them. Of course, they've got the money, but they've not just invested in the team. They've invested in everything around the club. And I think that makes a massive difference as well.
Yeah, definitely. You got to know and respect the reason you are where you are, and you got to know and respect the reason why you need to get to where you need to get to. And that doesn't happen without, not just local, but national and worldwide support. And yeah, this is why this is the big six, because at the moment in the league, these are the teams to watch. Obviously, there's a few teams creeping in and around, the Leicesters, the Wolves, the Evertons, and who knows what this show might become next season. But for now, it is six. And for now, Arsenal are still in it. We're still big. So as long as it's like that, we will remain on this channel with it, and I'll remain hosting it. If it ever changes, who knows? I might need to, I don't know, promote one of the lads to start hosting and take a back seat. I can't even lie to you. But people, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe and follow all of these guys' channels. The links are in the description below. Every single channel here, aside from Steve. Steve's only got an Instagram. But what's your the clothing Instagram as well, Steve? Because you haven't told them that. Terrace Cult, yeah?
.com, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the website, that's the Instagram. SAEED, United Central, YouTube, Tottenham TOBS, YouTube. Grizz, what's your personal YouTube channel, or is it still LFC Day Trippers?
Yeah, LFC Day Trippers, man.
Okay,
LFC Day Trippers. Go over there, that's it.
And Matisse, M-A-H. And I've done a video of Matisse earlier today, so if you're still up, if you're still awake, if you just had a coffee, go and watch that before you get to bed. And yeah, that's it, people. Love for you, man, coming on. Obviously, we'll be back on Friday. Got the predictions in. I'll update the table come Friday, and we'll be back, people. Love, peace, and take care.